You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Good morning, Monday April 2nd, I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. First this morning, some breaking news in Sarasota right now. Police are on the scene of an officer-involved shooting.
It happened about 1 a.m. on 12th Street. Police say they shot a suspected burglar after he pulled out a gun. Marla Spence is live where they just wrapped up a press conference this morning. Marla.
Good morning, guys. I am live on 12th Street, and this parking lot right behind me is exactly where that shooting happened this morning in Sarasota. The Sarasota Police Department tells us 2 officers were patrolling the 2500 block of 12th Street after a few businesses were burglarized on the 13th Street over the last 3 nights. Now, while officers were on patrol, they came across a man on his bike, and police say when the officer tried to speak to him, that man reached into his waistband and pulled out what seemed to be a gun at the time, but ended up being a pellet gun. One officer fired shots and hit the man in the leg. He's now at the Sarasota Memorial Hospital receiving treatment for his injuries, and no officers were injured. Now, so far, the name of that suspect has not been released at this time. Per Sarasota Police Department policy, that officer who fired shots is now on paid administrative leave. I'm Marla Spence reporting live in Sarasota for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. Details on this story and all breaking news on our app. You can find it at My Suncoast or under WWSB. All right, 5, let's shift gears now and check on that forecast.
That's all right. How's it going this morning, John Scalzi?
It's going great. Boy, what a nice weekend, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
A little on the toasty side for some folks, but I think that trend of warm temperatures is going to continue for a few more days anyway. We have across the region currently quiet conditions for your morning commute. No rain showers in progress, and I think that's the way it'll be through the morning hours and probably through the evening hours along the coastline. Now, inland, there is a chance at an isolated shower or two developing along a sea breeze front. Winds will be kind of light today and mostly sunny, and with the daytime heating and the light winds, we'll probably get a sea breeze that'll push most of any rainfall activity we get into inland areas. Across the region, currently 68 degrees in Sarasota, 68 in Bradenton. We're looking at 68 in Mayaca and 68 in Inglewood. You get the picture. Temperatures are generally running in the upper 60s across the region. For a daytime high today, we'll be pretty close to where we were yesterday, coming in around 82 degrees by 3 p.m. And I don't see much in the way of a rain shower chance for the next couple of days. There's a beautiful change coming our way midweek, though, and we'll talk about that in just a few.
Oh, good. Thank you. Talk to you soon, John. Checking the roads right now. We'll build up there on 301 already today in both directions. North of State Road 70, otherwise pretty clear in Manatee County. Checking farther south now into Sarasota County. Little blip there to your left-hand side of the screen, the Longboat Key southbound as you head toward City Island. A little congestion there, otherwise pretty clear. And our final maps for the south, we'll check that and see one little blip there on 75 southbound as you approach the Northport area. And be aware also that school is back in session today. You will see some yellow buses back on the street. Some 80,000 students are back to class today in Sarasota and Manatee counties. And this is a live look at Fruitville Elementary School, one of the dozens of schools, again, back in session this morning here on the Suncoast.
And this morning, a Manatee County animal shelter is closed after an outbreak of a highly contagious virus. At least 5 puppies at Nate's Honor Animal Rescue have been diagnosed with parvo. The shelter is going to be closed at least until Wednesday. And of course, that virus is highly contagious and can be deadly sometimes among dogs. Causes severe diarrhea, vomiting, as well as fatigue. Now, this is the shelter's 2nd outbreak in the last 3 months. Nate's is cleaning every square inch of that shelter so no other dogs contract that virus.
We have our vet techs working pretty much around the clock as designated people to care for the sick animals. They require a lot of medicine, a lot of fluids, a lot of special care.
Nate's has been working with the University of Florida to figure out the best ways to contain parvo and, of course, how they can prevent another outbreak.
If you've recently shopped at Saks Fifth Avenue or Lord & Taylor, there is a security alert for you this morning. The parent company is dealing now with a data breach. A New York-based security firm says a hacking group announced last week that it had put up for sale more than 5 million stolen credit and debit cards, and that the compromised numbers came from Saks and Lord & Taylor customers. The number of stores or customers has not yet been released. There is a Saks Fifth Avenue at the University Town Center Mall and also a Saks off Fifth at the Ellington outlets.
And starting today, MCAT riders have a new payment option. MCAT is offering mobile ticketing now, which is going to allow people to pay their bus fares right from your smartphone. So easy. The one-year pilot program is available through the Token Transit app for the purchase of single ride fares, daily, weekly, monthly bus passes as well.
Seniors who don't have transportation can now use a new tool to help get around. Find a Ride Florida has a new interactive map tool. Users can just punch in where they want to go to find the best ride for their time and budget. The project coordinator for Find a Ride Florida says the goal is to let people know about all of their options available.
So we connect to transportation service providers. So this could be non-medical transportation. It could be taxis, regional transit system, so the bus, paratransit, a wide variety of both public and private options.
Find a Ride Florida is paid for by the State Department of Transportation.
Well, we are barely into spring, but now it is already time to think summer, because in just about an hour from now, you can register your kids for summer camp. Sarasota County is offering 11 full weeks of a summer camp. There's something for just about every kid with programs from grade 1 all the way through 12th grade. Those camps run from May 29th until August 10th. For more information, the itinerary, or to register your kids today, just go to the county's website. You can find it at mysuncoast.com.
State wildlife experts have a warning for pool owners this morning after an 11-foot gator turned up in a backyard pool in Nokomis. It happened on Friday evening. The homeowner thought it was a two-legged intruder splashing around and said it was a four-legged intruder. Experts say this isn't the first time this has happened recently. They say the state's $1.3 million gators are becoming a lot more active.
And it is mating season, or we're heading into mating season, which is one of the reasons that they're starting to be more active and get out there. But this was a big one. I was watching this on Friday. I can't even imagine that feeling of looking down and just seeing that silhouette and be like, oh, time to go back inside.
That has made worldwide news.
Yeah, yes it has. It went viral.
Still ahead, first alert traffic, and the search continues this morning for 3 missing teenagers in California after investigators say their family van drove off that cliff.
And coming up a little later in the hour, if you're looking for a new smartphone, what you need to do to save some money on that purchase. We're going to have some.
Here's a live look at New York City. Oh, some clouds there in Manhattan, and that is a coincidence. Clouds here also, John Scalzi.
A few, but the good news is we don't have a lot of fog around the region. The visibilities are all pretty good, so that's good to see. As far as the inclement weather watch boxes checked for any of your morning commute, not a problem. And we don't have anything going on out there that'll slow you up this morning. Temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s for your drive out, for your drive home, low 80s. Complete forecast in a minute.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at some pretty quiet conditions out there right now. Temperature is mild, coming in at about 68, but the dew point is still pretty high, coming up at 66. We've even had some dew points close to the 70 mark through the weekend, so that has made it feel pretty sticky, I think, and led to a few scattered showers around yesterday. In fact, we had a funnel cloud reported in, well, inland areas. No tornado, but still, indication that we had some fairly strong storms building under an unstable environment, and the reason it was so unstable is because of all the humidity and moisture that was in the air. Clear skies being reported at the station right now, but we have had broken to overcast skies during the overnight, kind of leftover residual cloud cover from yesterday's activity. Winds are out of the east now at about 9. Across the region, 66 Wauchula, 69 Arcadia, Mayaca at 68, 67 in Parrish, Bradenton at 68, so it's Lakewood Ranch and Sarasota and Venice and Inglewood. Northport comes in a little warmer at 69, and out on the Key you've got 69 as well. Same thing in Punta Gorda. So as we go through the day, I think we'll have mostly sunny skies by afternoon with a temperature of about 82 to top things out at 3 p.m. As we head into the evening hours, 7 p.m. around 77 degrees, and then during the overnight it'll be a warm one. Still a lot of humidity around, enough to make it stay in the 60s during the overnight tonight. Nobody's in the 50s, I don't think, over the next several days. We do have a chance at a shower today, but those shower chances are going to be mostly in inland areas, just as they were last night. A few scattered showers around. They drifted off to the east, and I think that'll be exactly the same sort of situation that we see again today. We'll have a few scattered showers building along the sea breeze front, probably around 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then those showers will be pushed further and further toward the east by that sea breeze front, which will move a fair distance inland. It'll keep the coastline a little bit cooler. Most of us will be solidly in the 80s again today. Right now, everything very quiet out there. Titan radar not finding a drop of rain around falling anywhere. So that's all very good news. If you're out and about this afternoon, got some plans going on, I don't think you'll have much of a problem. High pressure remains our dominant weather feature, while some of the country is experiencing inclement weather. Again, another snowstorm rapidly moving out into the Atlantic Ocean today, producing some snow showers for parts of New York and up toward Rhode Island. They'll see some snow showers. Pennsylvania seeing some pretty good snow, especially at higher elevations. That is a rapidly moving system, so total snowfall amounts are not going to be all that great. It'll just be a morning nightmare up there. The frontal boundary kind of meanders back to the west, and another low in the Pacific Northwest producing some showers there. Those will eventually combine together to produce a front that'll move through here on Wednesday. And when that happens, some slightly drier, cooler air will filter in for a day or two, and it should be just great for the second half of the work week with much lower relative humidities and some slightly cooler temperatures. So we'll look for a daytime high today that tops out under the influence of the mostly sunny skies, thanks to that high pressure ridge, at about 82, slightly above average. And I think those sunny days will continue. We'll have inland showers possible, especially today. And then we'll wait for that front, which will be on the way by Wednesday, kind of slicing through the humidity and bringing us some pretty nice conditions. Thunderstorm forecast, well, the bullseye is back to the west in the open plains and heartland, but for us, we do have that chance of showers. As I said, well inland, though. Hardy and DeSoto County, you could get a thunderstorm or two a little bit later on today. I think along the coastline, we stay dry, we stay quiet. that'll be the case for a good deal of the week, actually. I don't see a whole lot of rainfall near the coast. Southeast wind switching to the southwest with that sea breeze in the afternoon, turning a little more northwest with time, and then overnight tonight coming in northeast. 2-foot seas, light chop on bay and inland waters. Forecast looks pretty good, actually. We'll go with today's daytime highs, I mentioned, at around 82. Nighttime lows in the 60s. Lots of sunshine around today and tomorrow and the day after. Wednesday, we have that front coming through. It'll lower our nighttime temperatures just a little bit. And then on Thursday, beautiful low humidity weather. And that'll stay with us for a couple of days, it looks like. Saturday and Sunday also look good. We'll be watching Sunday for another frontal boundary, which may be approaching and bring us a chance of rainfall late in the night. Back to you.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking traffic right now. Some buildup in both directions early this morning now. On 301 around State Road 70, be aware of that. Extra congestion indeed. Checking farther south now into Sarasota County, University Parkway, showing some early buildup there in the eastbound lane around Tuttle and Lockwood Ridge, heading toward Whitfield. Be aware of that eastbound. And then checking farther south on our final maps, not much to report. So far, so good. Again, school resumes this morning after spring break, so you will see some extra activity on the roads. 5:16 right now.
And now to California, that strange mystery of a car crash that killed at least 5 members of a family. California investigators now feel that it may have actually been intentional. Sarah and Jessica Hart, as well as 3 of their 6 adoptive children, have all been confirmed dead. As of right now, crews are still searching for the remaining 3 kids that have been missing since the accident. Now, they do believe that all 3 kids were in the SUV at the time of the crash, but now they've been analyzing brake patterns and skid marks, and they believe that crash may have been intentional.
We're going under the assumption at this point that Devontae, Hannah, and Sierra were in the vehicle, but we don't have 100% information to suggest other than our assumption that they were together. That is still being investigated and looked into.
According to the California Highway Patrol, now it appears that that SUV slowly went over the cliff. There were no signs of skidding or braking, and there was about 75 feet of an area between the road and where the cliff actually starts.
Very mysterious story out there.
Very strange story.
Some Atlanta students are being criticized for a recent on-stage performance in blackface.
As Brittany Miller tells us, the school is now issuing an apology.
In less than 24 hours, this video has gone viral. Second graders at the Kendesi Old Fourth Ward Charter School holding blackface masks.
I thought it was damaging, thought it was dangerous. Here we are in a climate where our youngsters are not only having to deal with military warfare in school, now they're dealing with psychological warfare as well.
It was all part of a Black History performance. While holding the masks, students recited the poem We Wear the Mask by Paul Laurence Dunbar. 4th grader Ariana Nickerson was there and was unbothered.
I'm not really offended by it, but I think that it's kind of offending to some people, but it kind of matters on the perspective of people.
The perspective from most is that it looks, sounds, and feels like a minstrel show, mimicking the Black community.
Theatrical messages, are powerful. But when those theatrical messages are woven in the very fabric of buffoonery and coonery of this country, I do not feel that imagery is powerful.
CBS 46 was able to get a hold of the letter sent to parents, which says, quote, "This was a poor and inappropriate decision, and we sincerely apologize and accept responsibility for the hurt, anger, frustration, and disappointment that this has caused in the Kendesi community and the community at large," end quote.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, a new tool is in the works for Facebook users, how it can protect your personal information.
And the creative genius behind some of the biggest hits of the 80s and 90s on TV has passed away. Details when we come back. But first, this is a live shot, some breaking news we're following right now of a officer-involved shooting this morning in Sarasota on 12th Street just before 1 o'clock this morning. Officers saw a man on a bike who they wanted to talk to about a string of burglaries in that area the past 3 nights. They say he pulled out what appeared to be a gun. They shot him in the leg. He is now in the hospital. One officer is now on paid leave. We're following this breaking news throughout the morning. We'll have details at 5:30 right here on ABC 7.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better, with amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today. A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
All right, welcome back to Good Morning Suncoast. It is a nice, quiet morning here on our beautiful coast. We've got many visitors from up north as a lot of spring breaks are just starting today for a lot of our friends to the north. A lot of other kids are heading back to school. It's going to be a good day today.
Yeah, this is a good place to be, but for those who are heading north, a lot of our snowbird friends are heading north. They might encounter some bad weather as they head north. A spring storm threatening Washington, D.C. to Boston today.
That is right, and that system is bringing cold and rain after causing some whiteout conditions from the plains all the way to the Great Lakes. ABC's Janai Norman takes a look at how long this system is likely going to stick around.
It's a double dose of winter weather. A spring storm packing bitter cold and heavy, wet snow.
So it's Mother Nature's April Fool's to us.
On Easter Sunday, snowblowers and slick roads across the plains and Great Lakes. Chicago had its coldest Easter in easily a decade. That spring system dumping nearly a dozen inches of snow and causing more than 300 car accidents in Minnesota. The storm brought black ice to parts of Wisconsin and created whiteout conditions along I-80 in Nebraska.
This time of year, we're pretty much sick of it.
And the Northeast bracing for another round of spring snow. This following 4 nor'easters in the last month.
I was really excited for spring. I had hope.
And despite a few nice spring-like days, it's not spring just yet for much of the country. Janai Norman, ABC News, Washington.
One final sign-off. A 37-year veteran with the Arizona Department of Safety retired last week, and his emotional final radio call is making the rounds on social media. Arizona Trooper Mark Gilberg began his career with the agency way back in March of 1981. Listen to this exchange as he calls into dispatch one last time.
I just wanted to thank everybody for everything that they've ever done. It's been an honor and a privilege, and a great career. It's been a great adventure. Thank everybody that's ever helped me. And as I said, it's been an honor and a great privilege to serve in this great department, work with all you fine people. This is 152, badge 2988, 37 years and 3 weeks later. It's been a great ride. Thank you very much, and keep smiling.
Oh, Gilbert, I'm not crying. Gilbert's daughter shot that video. She posted it on social media. A department spokesperson says that Gilbert is the agency's longest serving trooper.
A nice way to go out, huh?
Love this. What a great memory. I'm glad his daughter did this.
Yeah, I talked to the president of the Tampa Bay Rays this past weekend about getting more Suncoast fans up to the games.
That's
We're going to have that story for you this week, and also some behind-the-scenes pictures you can find out right now at our respective websites. So check those out when you get a chance. Social media, big around here at ABC 7.
It is very big, and one of the biggest stories about social media has been the data breach. Yeah. Facebook is reportedly going to launch a brand new tool, though, designed to better protect our email addresses.
ABC's Diane Macedo and Candace Gibson have that and more in Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Facebook hears you.
The company's taking steps to make sure advertisers get your permission before using data for marketing on Facebook.
So the company is building something called a certification tool that will require advertisers to confirm they have that permission.
Amazon's automated store in Seattle has more big retailers working to match it.
Yeah, Walmart and Kroger's are trying out robots and scanner systems meant to save on labor and improve customer service. Now, one analysis says up to half of the world's retail jobs could be lost as more automation is used.
And Burger King's chocolate Whopper was just one of the many fake products being touted on April Fool's Day. The chocolate patty comes with raspberry syrup and white chocolate rings.
And the Zip-All is from outdoor retailer REI. Dozens of zippers, making it totally customizable. Both items completely fake.
Too bad.
Yeah, those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by the U.S. Postal Service.
This is a story about mail and packages. And it's also a story about people. People who rely on us every day to deliver their dreams. They're handing us more than mail. They're handing us their business. And while we make more e-commerce deliveries to homes than anyone else in the country, we never forget that your business is our business. The United States Postal Service. Priority, you.
Feel the clarity of non-drowsy Claritin with powerful 24-hour relief from symptoms triggered by over 200 different allergens, like those from Buddy. Because stuffed animals are clearly no substitute for real ones. Feel the clarity and live Claritin Clear. For 1 week only, save up to $46 on select Claritin products. Check this Sunday's newspaper.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC 7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC 7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons, leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways.
protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Get breaking news, plus first alert, weather and traffic focused on where you live. Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Good morning and welcome back. Breaking news in Sarasota that we've been following for you all morning. Police are on the scene of a shooting that involved a police officer.
Marla Spence is live on 12th Street where they had a press conference minutes ago. Marla, what's the latest on that shooting?
Yeah, guys, that guy who has not been, his name has not been released yet, he apparently pulled into this parking lot right over here, and that's where he pulled out what seemed to be a gun this morning, and that's when Sarasota police officers fired shots. Now, we're told officers Adam Arena and John Torres with the Sarasota Police Department were patrolling the 2500 block of 12th Street after a few businesses were burglarized on 13th Street over the last 3 nights, and while those officers were on patrol, they came across a man on his bike.
2 of our officers encountered an individual riding a bicycle without a light and attempted to contact that subject. When they attempted to contact the subject, he pulled off the street and into the alleyway. Upon stopping, the individual produced a replica firearm.
So far, one of those officers, Officer John Torres, he has been on paid administrative leave according to Sarasota Police Department's policy. So we're continuing to keep you guys updated with the latest on this investigation. And coming up at 6 o'clock, we're going to be hearing from the Sarasota Police Department. As you guys said, there was a press release that wrapped up just a few moments ago. So you guys are going to be hearing comments from that press release that happened just a little under an hour ago. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thanks, Marla. She's been out there all morning and will be continue to be live out there throughout the morning. And we will bring you the updates to this live situation, all to this breaking news throughout the morning. Now, don't forget, you can also get alerts that will get you right on your smartphone. You can do that simply by downloading the app. Just head over to the App Store and search the words WWSB or My Suncoast.
All right, 5:32, time for the forecast for the week. Here he is, folks, meteorologist John Scalzi. Hey, John.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Quiet conditions out there this morning. There's really not much of an issue weather-wise with your morning commuter. The return to school, everything looks pretty good, actually. We'll have above average warm temperatures this afternoon and maybe a few isolated showers. Those will be mostly in inland areas along the sea breeze front, and they'll be pushed further and further away from the coast. Radar right now very quiet. We have a few fair weather clouds that move by from time to time, but nothing producing any rainfall this morning, all dry. And that'll be the case through most of the day today. I think temperatures are generally running above average, coming in the upper 60s. We'll probably see that kind of lose a degree or two over the course of the next hour before starting to warm with a little daytime heating. Daytime temperatures will be running probably around 5 degrees above average again today, coming in around 82 by 3 p.m. And we have some drier, cooler air coming in briefly for midweek with another frontal boundary approaching. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Some early buildup there on the roads. You'll see heading on 301 northbound toward the Ellington Outlet Mall, some congestion there just west of the interstate. Also 301 southbound as you head towards State Road 70. Checking farther south now on the maps. Not much to speak of. A little thing at the very base of your screen on 41 southbound as you head toward Proctor and the landings right there. And now we'll check our final maps to the south and see that there is actually an accident there. Down toward Venice and South Venice. We'll click on that and learn more that at Venice Avenue, an accident between Havana Road and Inverness Road. So awfully early in the day for an accident, but that's the situation at 5:34 a.m. Also, don't forget that students are back in school today, so you will see more activity on the roads. Pretty quiet week last week, but that'll change, and there's a live shot right now at one of the dozens of schools back in session today. That's Fruitville Elementary School right there at Fruitville, not too far from Honore. 5:34 right now. On to the news, the so-called affluenza teen. The affluenza teen. is set to be released from prison today.
That's right. You remember it made a story, made headlines a few years ago. Ethan Couch, he served 2 years in prison for violating probation that he was put on after reportedly driving drunk and killing 4 people. His defense argued that he was raised wealthy and so spoiled he didn't know right from wrong. John Lawrence has the latest.
Ethan Couch will no longer be behind prison bars, but he won't exactly be free.
He's going to have that GPS monitoring. He has a curfew, so he cannot be out anytime between 9 p.m. to 6 a.m.
5 years ago, Couch, who was 16 at the time, killed 4 people while driving under the influence of alcohol. Others were seriously injured as well.
Listen to me. Well, is it just one vehicle? No, man, there's 4 or 5. There's another child in the ditch. I got him!
Couch's attorney said their client's wealthy upbringing made it impossible for him to understand the consequences of his actions. That's what led some to call Couch the affluenza teen. Couch was sentenced to a decade on probation, but 2 years later he fled to Mexico, a violation of the terms of his probation. He has been in jail for the last 2 years. Critics say the justice system has been too lenient with him.
We will continue to watch them because we have the partnerships in Tarrant County to make sure that he at least adheres to all his rules of probation.
And should Couch do something wrong again, he's not expected to get any sympathy.
If he gets in trouble again and violates the terms of his parole, he's going back to prison for the remainder of his sentence.
Couch turns 21 years old later this month. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And new this morning, China is making good on its trade threats. The Chinese government says that tariffs on about $3 billion worth of U.S. imports will go into effect today. That impacts roughly 128 products in total. Those sanctions that were first proposed over a week ago are in response to President Trump's tariffs on imports of steel and aluminum. Now, China plans to impose tariffs of 15% on such things as fruits, nuts, wine, and steel pipes, and then tariffs of about 25% on items like pork and recycled aluminum.
If you want to save money next time you buy a cell phone, here's a growing trend for you. With the price of the latest high-tech phones pushing $1,000, secondhand market is now picking up. Many carriers and sites like Gazelle and Glide are selling refurbished phones. By choosing to buy secondhand, you can save up to half the price of what you pay for a new phone.
The other big aspect is the storage capacity. You get a lot more bang for your buck with the storage if you go with a used phone option.
If you plan to upgrade from an older model, you can also make some money by selling your old phone using sites like Flipsy. You can find out where to sell your phone. Experts say before you sell that phone, make sure your device is no longer under contract. Also unlink accounts like Facebook and email, and also do a factory reset before your data is passed along.
Well, if you're planning a summer vacation, get ready to pay a little more for that passport. Starting today, the Department of State is increasing the passport fee from $25 to $35. Now, the fee only applies to passport applicants that have to use the DS-11 form, such as first-time applicants over 16, kids under 16, and applicants who reapply after their previous passport was lost or stolen. Now, that fee increase doesn't apply to adults eligible to renew those passports by mail.
And a quick note for students returning to class today at Venice Elementary School. There'll be a change for parents in the drop-off. The district has determined that the smaller front parking lot facing east is too small, and pickup has been moved to the larger lot on the side of the school facing Bahama Street. The 2 parking lots have been repaved. Police will be on hand early this week to help parents and staff with those changes.
Well, he created some of the most groundbreaking TV shows in history. Hill Street Blues, NYPD Blue, LA Law. 10-time Emmy Award-winning producer Stephen Bochco has passed away. His boundary-pushing series, like all of those, especially Hill Street Blues, that shot documentary-style, controversial topics on NYPD Blue, they helped shape modern TV dramas. Throughout his career, he was nominated for an Emmy a whopping 30 times. He won 10 of those, along with 4 Peabodys. Bochco died Sunday at his home. He was surrounded by his family after a long battle with leukemia. He was 74 years old. It was interesting. He was really kind of credited with introducing the documentary style of TV that was on Hill Street Blues and having to give people like TV with a memory. So he had to kind of like pick up on the...
Right.
Yeah.
He had a great run, didn't he?
Oh, he was very creative.
Great career. Yeah. Still ahead, the latest in First Alert traffic and an unusual situation for 2 New York City police officers. Details of the special delivery they were involved in.
And an entirely different kind of egg hunt for folks in Key Largo. We're going to show you the depths some people went to find the golden egg.
But first, here's a peek at Atlanta, Georgia. There's
there's your Ferris wheel.
I have all kinds of details I wrote down last week about it, and I forgot. It's in Centennial Park. You can buy a ride on that Ferris wheel. They've got the same kind of thing in London.
Yeah, the Eye. I've been on that one.
I have
yeah,
too.
yeah.
So there's the same thing. And then Orlando has one too. At least they did. They still do. Thank you, Jim. Let's get the forecast for the day. Here's John Scalzi.
Looks pretty good for us. Remember, school's back in session, so watch out for those kids at the school bus stops. Should be good, though, this morning for pickup time. 68 degrees for drop-off when they come home, about 82. Lots of sunshine around this afternoon, and little rain chance, except in inland areas where there is the possibility of an isolated storm. We'll talk about the forecast for the week ahead, coming up in just a few.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looking at a temperature of 68 degrees, fairly clear skies out there, but we've had clouds passing by from time to time during the overnight. We've had 66 degrees as our dew point, so it's kind of thick out there in terms of humidity. Our dew point values have risen into the 70s this weekend, so there was plenty of moisture around to support those few showers that we did have in inland areas over the weekend. Humidity at 93%, winds out of the east at about 9, and that easterly wind will be shifting more to the southwest as we head into the afternoon. Light enough our winds today that we develop a sea breeze, and it should be a relatively decent sea breeze, pushing most of the showers well inland. 68, Wauchula 69, Arcadia, Myakka, Parrish at 68, Bradenton at 68, 68 in Sarasota, 69 in Venice, 68 in Inglewood, 69 in Northport. You get the picture. Temperatures are generally running near the 70-degree mark, but a little bit shy of that in most locations. And we'll probably lose another couple of degrees before we start to warm. When we do warm, we'll warm nicely today, about 5 degrees above average for the afternoon. Again, coming in warm at about 82 degrees. Yeah, mid-80s in Tampa over the weekend, so there were some warm temperatures around. By 3 p.m., I think we'll probably have a few scattered showers, but those will be mostly in inland areas. So this day planner set up mostly for the coastline doesn't show you much in the way of any kind of rainfall around, but I'd put in a slight chance at a shower in inland areas today. 77 by 7 p.m., 70 by midnight, and then as you wake up tomorrow morning, temperatures will again be pretty close to where they are right now, which is in the upper 60s, I think is probably where we'll top it out. Winds generally out of the southeast to start the day. We'll have a few scattered showers developing in inland areas along that sea breeze front as the winds begin to twist a little bit more to the southwest right along the immediate coastline. That'll push those showers away from the coast, and I don't think coastal residents will see much today in the way of any kind of rainfall. If you live east of the west of the interstate, I just don't think you're going to see a whole lot in the way of rainfall this week, in fact. Those showers continue to drift further and further away as we head into the evening hours. Everything kind of winds down, and we're left with overnight temperatures that'll drop into the 60s. I don't think we'll see much in the way of cloud cover tomorrow either under a mostly sunny sky. Titan radar not showing much in the way of any rainfall around now. We do have some residual areas of drizzle basically left over from some of the earlier showers that have moved well into the inland areas. Polk County, Highlands County saw a few showers over the course of the last hour or so, and there are a few scattered areas of drizzle over on the other coast. But locally, morning commute absolutely fine. And I think the evening commute coming home should be fine for most of us, except if you live in those inland areas. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for the state of Florida. Other areas seeing that little bit of a snowstorm headed toward the coastline early on this afternoon, exiting out into the Atlantic and moving off to the northeast. That'll produce 2 to 4 inch snowfalls there, and then back to the west, another developing low pressure area will sink south and eventually team up with that residual front to the north and give us another front that'll move through here on Wednesday, lowering our humidity and making it feel pretty nice for the second half of the work week. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for us today, gives mostly sunny skies. That inland shower is possible with that fairly light wind around across the region. We'll develop that sea breeze. And then another front on the way, which we spoke about. The frontal boundary located to the north, producing the potential of some severe weather in parts of the heartland and plains. But for us, it's mostly your standard afternoon thunderstorm variety, and again, that'll be in well inland areas, according to the Severe Storm Prediction Center. So the forecast for us today looks good for boating. I don't see any issues here. Southeast wind switching to the southwest at about 5 to 10 this afternoon and into the evening hours. 2-foot seas, a light chop on bay and inland waters. Forecast looks like this. We'll have a daytime high today that tops out around 82 degrees. We'll have an overnight low around 66, mostly sunny skies. Same thing again tomorrow. Wednesday, front number 1 comes through. That'll bring us a little bit lower temperatures and a little bit less humidity. So it should feel pretty nice for a couple of days anyway. Both Thursday and Friday should feature that lower humidity air. And, very comfortable temperatures. Won't do much to cool us off, though. We still remain above average right straight through the week. And then as we head into the weekend, another front, but so far I don't think it'll bring us any rainfall. It just may actually give us a little extra cloud cover on Sunday night into Monday. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside to your first alert traffic out there this morning. Now, if you're in Manatee County, the roads are running pretty smooth. State Road 70 and 301, a lot of congestion in that area. Don't forget, a lot of the area students are heading back to school this morning, so you're going to see some of those increased traffics back on there, as well as a lot of snowbirds from up north and public schools from up north are all on spring break this week, so you're probably seeing a little bit of an increase in traffic later on this afternoon at the beaches. Now, in Sarasota County, those roads are looking pretty decent out there. They're all running pretty smooth around this time of the hour. University, Fruitville, as well as Bee Ridge, no big traffic issues in any of those areas. And a little bit farther south in the area. Again, the roads running south are pretty smooth this morning, pretty congestion free. And then there is one accident right there on 75. If we can pull that up, we can tell you about that. Right there on 75, there's an accident between Havana Road and Inverness Road near Venice Avenue. Accident between Havana Road and Inverness Road in that. And that is your first alert traffic at 5:50.
A special Easter delivery for 2 New York City police officers. They received a call about a pregnant woman in a car in the midst of childbirth. Well, the officers rushed over and delivered a baby girl until EMS arrived and cut the cord. Neither of the officers had children, but they say they are now better prepared.
It feels great to help directly bring a new life into this world. It feels fantastic. Honestly, it's a natural high feeling of being happy in life.
There is no word yet for the name of the baby, but the little girl is healthy, and the officers put their training to good use.
Well, it has finally happened, people. After weeks of anticipation and guessing and plotting, that 8-ton Chinese space station has finally crashed to Earth. Now it re-entered the Earth's atmosphere and plummeted into the middle of the South Pacific, actually near Tahiti overnight. That's according to China's Manned Space Agency. Now the agency did say that most of the parts were burned up in the re-entry process as predicted. The 40-foot-long Tiangwan, or Heavenly Palace, is one of China's highest profile space projects. It was launched in September of 2011 as a prototype for their ultimate space goal of a permanent space station that's expected to launch in the year 2022. Well, many people spent time at Easter egg hunts over the weekend, but some residents in Key Largo took their egg hunt to a whole new level, down under, that is. Dozens of undersea egg explorers search for a golden egg in a shallow reef off Key Largo in the Keys National Marine Sanctuary. Now, the undersea hide and seek is actually an annual fundraiser that helps Keys children in need throughout the year. The lucky diver who finds the golden egg scored a special Easter basket, included dive trips and diving accessories. So how is this safe underwater? Well, don't worry. Real eggs and non-toxic colorings are actually used to avoid any negative effects on the reef or the marine life in that case.
Looks like a lot of fun out there. All right, 5:52. This is a live shot from North New Jersey in Morristown, up in Morris County. I used to live near here after my first job out of college.
Oh, nice.
Disc jockey up there.
Do you miss that white stuff
I
that's
do not.
on the sidewalks right there?
30 degrees right now in Morristown, and snow, a big snowstorm toward the northeast again. April 2nd, snowstorm. We'll update today's top news headlines, including a local situation involving an officer-involved shooting in the city of Sarasota. That story and more news next on Good Morning Suncoast.